Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn grade 9 history lesson number 3, Nazism and the rise of Hitler. Nazism and the rise of Hitler. In 1945, Germany surrendered in the Second World War. In 1945, the Germany surrendered in the Second World War, and then an international military tribunal at Nuremberg was set up. Why it was set up? It to prosecute the Nazi war criminals. Nazi war criminals for crime against peace and also for against the crime against humanity. The tribunal was made. So this lesson started with the one incident, that is a Helmut. Helmut is a German boy. He was lying in bed, 11-year-old German boy. He was lying in bed when he overheard his parents discussing something in serious tone. His father, a prominent physician, deliberated with his wife whether the time had come to kill the entire family or if he should commit suicide alone. His father spoke about with a fear of revenge. The next day, he took Helmut to the woods where they spent their last happy time together singing old children's songs. Later, Helmut's father shot himself in his office. Helmut remembered that he saw his father's bloody uniform, that is bloody uniform being burnt in the family fireplace. So why it was happened? Because the Helmut father was a supporter of Nazism. As for the tribunal, they are catching the criminals. For that fear only, that Helmut father committed suicide. Then again we have seen it was given in 1945 itself. Goebbels Goebbels is the propaganda minister of Hitler. Goebbels is the propaganda minister of Hitler. He also, his entire family committed suicide collectively in his Berlin bunker in April. Okay. Next, we have to see genocidal war. What do you mean by genocidal war? So Germany had waged a genocidal war. Genocidal war means killing on large scale, leading to destruction of large section of people. That means the number of the people killed include Jews were 2 lakhs more than the Gypsies, 1 million of Polish, 1 million of Polish civilian, 70,000 Germans who were considered mentally and physically disabled. Besides, Nazism also killed so many people by gassing them in various killing center. So, in again, I would like to say, in Germany surrendered, the International Military Tribunal was met at Nuremberg. In that, it made us the Nazi people were the criminals. For fearing that only is the propaganda minister committed suicide along with family. Then the genocidal war. Next, we have to see birth of Weimar Republic. Birth of Weimar Republic. How the Weimar Republic came to happen? That means the defeat of the Imperial Germany and the abdication of the emperor. It gave an opportunity to parliamentary parties to cast German polity. A national assembly met at Weimar and established a democratic constitution with a federal structure. The deputies were now elected to the German parliament Reichstag. Reichstag is the name of the parliament of the Germany on the basis of equal and universal votes cast by all adults including women. So defeat of Germany and the abdication of the Kaiser leads to form a national assembly. Later it was the German parliament. Next we have to see about the humiliating Treaty of Versailles. So, after the Germany end of the First World War, the peace treaty at Versailles with his allies was made. This was a humiliating treaty. What do you mean by humiliating? It was to suppress the German people. See, let us see what are they. In 1918, Germany signed a treaty. It lost one third of its population. Then, sorry, one tenth of the population. Here, 13% of its territories, 75% of its iron, and 26% of its coal to France, Poland, Denmark, and Lithuania. The Allied power make demilitarized Germany to weaken its power. At last, the war guilt class that Germany was responsible for the war and it has to pay the damage of $6 billion. The Allied armies also occupied the resource rich Rhineland for much of the 1920s. Many Germans held the view that Weimar Republic is responsible for the defeat and also the Treaty of Versailles. The humiliating Treaty of Versailles was signed in 1918. It lost one tenth of the population. It lost overseas colonies. It lost 75% of iron, 26% of coal, and it has to pay $6 million war compensation. So, the Republic, they consider the people, the Weimar Republic was responsible for that one. Next, we have to see the effect of the war. The effect of the war. Germany was financially crippled. Germany was financially crippled. Then the people, those who are supporting the Weimar Republic, were considered as a November criminal. Who are they? They were socialists, Catholics, and Democrats. They were the conservatives and they supported the republic and they were known as November Republic. And they were known as November Republic. Then during that time, the soldiers have to be the soldiers came to place above citizens. There is a need for men to be aggressive, strong, and masculine. The need for the men to be strong and masculine. Next, we have to say what is political radicalism and economic crisis. Political radicalism and economic crisis. The Weimar Republic crushed the uprising. So the people, those who are against it was the Weimar Republic was crushed uprising by the veteran organization. The Weimar Republic crushed the uprising with the help of a war veteran organization called Free Corps. Corps means here the police. Free Corps. Then in 1928, Germany refused to pay the compensation. It was, the Germany has to pay the compensation. But now what happened? They refused to pay. Instead of that, they printed the paper currency recklessly. So what happened? As they with too much of printed money in circulation, the value of the Germany mark fell. The value of the Germany mark fell. What is it? The Germans carrying a cartload of currency note to buy a loaf of bread. It was widely published in the worldwide sympathy. This crisis came to be known as hyperinflation. That means a situation when prices rise very much high. That is known as hyperinflation. Next, we have to say years of depression. Years of depression. The 1924 and 1928 saw some stability. Yet, German investment and industrial recovery totally depend on the short-term loan which was given by the USA only. The USA only giving loan. But what happened in the USA? Here, the 13 million share the 13 million shares were sold within a single day on 24th October. On 24th October. So what happened? The national income of the USA fell by half of it. So it affected Germany because Germany totally depend loan from USA. Then in 1929, in the 29, 6 million were unemployed. 6 million were unemployed. The workers lost their job or were paid reduced wages. The number of unemployment on the streets of Germany see men with placard around their neck saying willing to do any work, willing to do any work. So what happened? Unemployment youth played card or simply sat at street corner, and they may started the criminal activities also. So the economic crisis created deep anxieties and fears in the minds of the people. Now the people lost their confidence in the parliamentary system. So the article 48, the article 48, it shows the weakness of the Weimar Republic. It imposed emergency. Article 48, which gave the president the power to impose emergency. It suspends civil rights and rule by degree. Within a short life, the Weimar Republic saw 20 different cabinet, 20 different cabinet within not even a 1 year, 239 days only. 239 days only. So what happened? People lost confidence in the parliamentary system. People lost their confidence in the parliamentary system. Next, we have to see Hitler raised to power. Hitler raised to power. Though Hitler, he was born in 1889 in Austria. Hitler spent his youth in poverty only. He was not born in Germany, but he born in Austria only. But he had a great nationalism with Germany. Hitler spent his youth in poverty. When the First World War broke out, he enrolled for the army and acted as a messenger in the front. He became a corporal only. He was only a corporal, means in the small category grade only. Then and earned medals for bravery. And earned medals for bravery. The Germ At first, he was very much horrified with the Versailles Treaty, and first he joined a small group called German Workers' Party. Later, it was National Socialist German Workers' Party. At last, it became the Nazi Party. At last, he became the Nazi Party. Then, Hitler was a powerful speaker. His passion and his words moved the people very much. He promised he promised to build a strong nation unto the injustice of the Versailles Treaty and restore the dignity of the German people. He promised employment for those looking for work and secure future for the youth. He promised to weed out all foreign influence and resist all foreign conspiracies against Germany. So Hitler devised a new style of politics. He had the he had made the massive rally and public meeting to demonstrate the support for Hitler. The red banner with the swastika, the Nazi salute, and the ritualized round of applause after the speeches were all parts of the spectacle of his power. So he was born in Austria. His early was only a poverty only. He was only a corporal. Later he started a German Workers' Party, and then it became a Nationalist Socialist Party also. At last, Nazi Party. He was the founder of the Nazi Party. He was a powerful speaker, and then he made these promises. These promises only make the people to accept him as a leader. So this is the first video. Let us see the next video also, the continuation of the lesson.